We have discussed the Crumbl cookie empire on the show before, but we never really talked about the man who's responsible for it all. And his name is Sawyer Hemsley. I recently discovered that this is a Mormon-founded company based in Utah, founded in Provo, Utah, which makes perfect sense because Mormons are religiously obligated to abstain from alcohol, caffeine, all the things that are worth enjoying in life. So they have to resort to eating Play-Doh cookies that kill you slowly. Alex Clark is on the anti-Crumbl crusade at all times. She's a friend of the show. And this is one of the main focuses of her Maha content. One of these tweets that she made about Crumbl a while back really stuck with me. Crumbl cookie has to be one of the most dangerous things you could put into your body. It's a better gift for your worst enemy, not someone you love. Carrageenan, mono and diglycerides, red 40, yellow 5, high fructose corn syrup, seed oils, propylene glycol. This is terrifying. Ingredients we know cause cancer, behavioral problems, heart disease, and more. Do not spend your money at cancer cookie. This is what she's taken to calling Crumbl cookie. She calls them the cancer cookies.
I will always appreciate her vim and vigor.
Yes.
I will.
Yes.
She is a very, very motivated person.
Right. And before I knew more information about the CEO, I was skeptical, really. But she revealed more about Sawyer Hemsley in a recent episode of her podcast, Culture Apothecary, which we'll show a clip from now. This was quite the statement.
Here we go.
Evil demonic brands in America today. It's Crumbl cookie. There are more ingredients in that, I think, than a Coke. The serving size is just a small portion of that whole cookie, and I mean that right there has more sugar than you should have in like a week. There's a ton of ingredients. I mean, gasoline is probably cleaner than a Crumbl cookie. The owner is making millions of dollars off this product and really poisoning the American people. He does this house tour on Instagram, and he's got like a whole health and wellness room and set up
No way.
in there, and I'm like, this is the most evil thing I've ever seen. You're working on your health and wellness while you are making money basically the health of Americans. It's diabolical. It reminds me of the Sackler Purdue story. They create this product, Oxycontin. They know that it's starting what we now know is the opioid crisis.
Yeah.
Oxycontin and Crumbl cookie are not the same thing.
No.
And as much as I love your enthusiasm, you're infantilizing an entire populace to say that they can't work on their fitness and enjoy a piece of a Crumbl cookie every once in a while. Phil, friend of the show.
Phil is one of those people.
Very, very big fan of the gym and working out. Also enjoys himself a Crumbl cookie from time to time. If we are to be a free society, people have to have the right to use, if they can't use cookies in moderation, you're asking for a level of authoritarianism that I'm never going to be comfortable with.
Never going to be comfortable.
Comfortable with. Let's continue. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Americans are dying. They're getting sick. Crime is rising. They know it's the pill.
Wait. Okay. She's back. Okay, she's talking about the opioids. Okay, all right. I thought we were talking about stick-up robberies because of Crumbl cookie. No. Okay, all right.
They do nothing because they're making so much money, and I feel like we're gonna have the same similar story with Crumbl.
That's scary.
One of the most.
That's scary, if true.
So so what's gonna happen is that people are going to, like, Crumbl's gonna be closed for the night. Got any of that Crumbl, man?
Fiending for some Crumbl.
And if that means you have to go stick up the last person on their way out of the Crumbl after they're closing, then I suppose that's what the Crumbl epidemic is going to be.
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I worked at Crumbl for a total of maybe less than 2 weeks. And what they do at the end of the day is they just take those trays of cookies and throw them in trash bags. So if you really want to get your Crumbl fix, just jump in the dumpster. So I do think there's one aspect of the Crumbl business model that veers on shouldn't be legal, which is the fact that when you go in and look at the menu, they don't show you the actual calorie counts of the cookies. They show you the calorie counts of 1/4 of a cookie, which is still outrageous in and of itself. They tell you it's 190 calories with an asterisk at the end.
Yeah, so the thing is they do that with like products where there's multiple of something. So if you get a bag of chips,
right,
it says like this is how many calories are in like one serving,
which is like 8 chips,
20 crisps, and that's at the high end. That's if it's like one of those air popped ones. It's got like nothing to it. Otherwise, yes, it's like 10 crisps.
But it's even worse when Crumbl is doing
when it's a whole cookie.
Honestly.
Yes, that's not even cut up. And you're like, well, how do I get it down to a quarter? That is dubious at best. I still think it's your responsibility to read the label thoroughly.
Because I can down a family size bag of Lay's chips easily, but it says family size for a reason. If I do that, it's on me. But if I buy a cookie, the logical assumption you're making is I'm just going to eat this cookie because a cookie is a serving size of a cookie. Duh.
So how many calories?
They also sell the cutters now for that purpose.
It's like
to avoid liability.
It's like Olive Garden selling you the cheese grater.
Yeah. Okay, so more information on this Sawyer Hemsley guy. I first came across speculation last week that he is secretly gay. And the only reason why this is deemed remarkable by anyone is his Mormon faith, which is a part of the founding story of Crumbl. Founded in Utah in a Mormon community by a Mormon family. So they obviously are people who stigmatize homosexuality. Nothing wrong with that, if you ask me. But Sawyer Hemsley has these Instagram posts that were getting picked apart last week, and people were theorizing he's gay. And I wanted to show that video I came across last week before we get into the recent revelations.
The founder of Crumbl, and apparently he's a straight Republican. I'm sorry, but what straight man has ever done? Have you ever seen a straight man do this pose? You can always tell in the hip hop, like they just got a little sass. Even when he's trying to be hyper masculine,
shaves his armpits.
It just comes off as gay. Like this is a gay. Like this could be straight if that ball wasn't there. It's just this is a perfect example of gay face.
Gay face.
Like besides the obvious like work done, he's feeling himself. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel like he's gonna turn around and say like, "Hey sisters." There's 2 reasons why this photo is not straight. Hairspray and that little arm tuck. You know, like you can show off your muscles, but the pose he's doing the yearning pose, like he wants men to look at him. Personal favorite is when he captioned this photo, "Just let the house be ready." That sounds like a threat and or on the way to a grinder hookup. This is the co-founder of Crumbl.
Okay. So that speculation of his zestiness turned out to be true. There is one specific TikTok that was posted that prompted Sawyer Hemsley to come out as gay. Just yesterday, this came out. But I want to show that TikTok.
Here we go.
The one that allegedly clocked him on being gay.
This is my face after watching a video of the Crumbl CEO and seeing that that's apparently a straight man. No, it's not. That man is so gay. That man is gay to the gods. There's a genetic component to sexuality, mama. And let's just say he has the gene, and there's no denying evolution, babe. Oh my god. That's a gay man. That's a gay man, and I'll say it to his face. There's no denying it.
It is.
Holy shit!
I like the lack of visual aids.
He's like, everyone knows this already, right? So then, I have no idea what transpired. In the meantime, people are saying there were gay DMs that got leaked everywhere. I saw no evidence of that, but whatever it was that leaked, Sawyer Hemsley came across it, and he was prompted to admit to his following that he is in fact gay on Instagram yesterday. Over the past while, there have been people online trying to define me, twist things, and share conversations in ways that feel harmful. Instead of letting others write my story, I want to share it in my own words. The truth is, over the past few years, I've come to understand and accept that I'm gay. It's taken me a long time to really process this part of myself, and even longer to feel comfortable enough to say it out loud. For most of my life, I didn't have the clarity to answer the questions or respond to rumors. Coming to terms with it has been overwhelming and scary, but it has also brought me peace, joy, and authenticity I wouldn't trade for anything. I grew up with values and beliefs that I still deeply love and respect, the Mormon values, which made this journey more complicated. But I remain grateful for my foundation, even as I've worked to embrace this truth about myself. I know some people may have questions or even judgments, but my hope is that kindness, empathy, and love will lead the way. I've learned so much through this process about strength, compassion, and the importance of living authentically. At the end of the day, I'm deeply thankful for the opportunities I've had, for the people who support me, and the chance to live and share my story. It's a journey of growth and honesty, and one I'll never stop being grateful for. With love, Sawyer.
Okay.
So the rumors are confirmed. It is just funny that he is emphasized so strongly that he's committed to living authentically and honestly and transparency, when, as Alex Clark pointed out, rightly, he is not someone who indulges in the treats that are making him millions of dollars. I don't think that it's some kind of campaign to spread cancer throughout the United States, but he's obviously one of the many CEOs that know full well the products they're selling the general consumer is harmful. And he is not someone who he's not someone who eats Crumbl cookies. He would never want anyone he loves or cares about to eat Crumbl cookies, because he knows that they are extremely unhealthy and it's making people morbidly obese. I saw this one post from a girl who said, like, her and her roommates in their first semester of college were next to a Crumbl, and they were getting the weekly flavors that they release. And they thought that the serving sizes were as advertised, and they all gained freshmen, not 15, but like 25.
Wait, so it does say in fine print, right?
In fine print. Yes. Yeah. Seems not so legal to me. And Alex Clark is right to point out that there's something shady about him being clearly dedicated to a strict health and fitness regimen, when at the same time he can only afford his health and wellness room in his gigantic Provo mansion off of the money people are spending on Crumbl and getting fat from it.
Okay, but there's theoretically just as many people like a Phil who have a sense of the ability to stop and rationing out when they, it's the whole, remember sweet treat culture? We talk about it all the time. You have a sweet treat once in a while. Selling somebody a product you use once in a while, I just don't get it. Like, I get the meta. It was like the CEO of Pepsi is like, I would never let my kids drink Pepsi. Sure, fine, I guess.
Like, it's fine for you, but not for me and my family.
I guess, but also, like, at what point do we just, what do we take away? What do we take away? Everything? Then they can only eat lettuce and tomato and pickles and like chicken with no seasoning and rice with nothing, and you can only live healthy. No, you have the freedom to eat these things, but it is your job as a responsible adult to not engorge yourself until you're 500 pounds. That's your job. It's not the Crumbl CEO's job.
I guess I just see some nuance in the discussion, because
I'm not saying that the serving size stuff, that you're not right about that. Like, that maybe there should be some more, if they want to be like, look, you have to put the full, like, it's one product, you got to put the full calorie count for the whole thing, and then you can list the serving size.
Right, because that's not honesty.
I'm fine with that. Okay, but they're acting like there's a guy on a street corner who opens a jacket and he's like,
it's all Crumbles in there.
Free sample of Crumbl. Like, are we adults or not?
I get what you're saying, but it reminds me of what I learned about Ozempic, which is that, although I would love if we lived in a society where people could lose weight by the traditional means, which actually employ willpower and individual agency and hard work and suffering, meaning control over your diet and exercise. The reality is that the average, perhaps most people, actually just don't have that level of self-governance, and people who have high agency ascribe the same level of agency to the rest of society, and they're just so confounded when it's not found in other people. But I realized I'm one of those people who can control myself. Most people are not. And I do think that with the level of engineering that goes into food, or stuff that really can't even be accurately described as food these days, but is sold as that, it's falsely advertised as food. I don't think that all of that can be passed on to the consumer. Honestly.
I mean, that's what people are. I mean, that's why people are high on RFK right now, and everything that
I'm not even
trying
like
to,
a Maha person.
I see these things, and I'm like, at what point do I treat you like an adult? Like, am I supposed to also put like a booster seat in your car? Like what? Like,
well, look, I do understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you in spirit, but I also recognize it just doesn't line up with reality.
Maybe I'm just a bad person.
Like the people who are taking Ozempic to lose weight, and they say this was my last resort, I couldn't do it without Ozempic. I actually believe them in a weird way. Like, because if they had someone forcing them to follow a diet plan, following them around all day, smacking food out of their hand, yeah, they would be able to lose weight by thermodynamics and exercise and diet restriction. But they just don't have the peace in their brain that I am fortunate to have. They don't have the high agency it requires. And they're surrounded by genetically engineered, hyper palatable food, hyper abundant food,
designed to keep you hungry, designed to make you more hungry the more you eat. I understand.
And we just don't consider that when we buy like Pringles. The amount of thought that goes into the shape, texture, and chemical composition of these so-called foods.
We're not even talking about like a box of cookies. We're talking about a place where you go to buy a cookie. A cookie. Right. One cookie. Like, alarm bells should go off at the cost and size of a single cookie. And also, I feel like there's a point where, like, do you ever hit the point where, like, you eat something that's sugary and sweet and you're like, I need to stop.
Grossed out?
Not even grossed out, but just like, okay, it's so good, I need to stop indulging. And
a lot of people just don't have that.
I've made the joke on here. I posted something the other day of like Fat Civic from like, I usually gain about 12 to 13 pounds in the winter because I'm not skating as much. I'm not getting as much exercise. I'm very lucky to have something I care about a lot that keeps me active as much as I can be because it's part of my life. I get that. And I do not eat healthy. I should be eating 1,000 times healthier. I do not. I eat like trash. But I do so and understand that the moderation that I do, even then, that it's bad and that it's my responsibility as a grown adult to take care of my own body. And most of the time today, society is looking to pass the buck off. Now, if we want to talk about legislation about the calorie count and the packaging being labeled a specific way, sure. But if we're talking about like we need to ban Crumbl cookie because it's going to cause autism and turn you into a school shooter, I'm not on board with that.
Well, common sense approach, Crumbl ought to be required to list their actual calorie counts. And this conversation definitely took a turn for the more intellectual than I expected.
Instead of just dunking on Crumbl cookie. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.